Hi guys. Much like some of the stuff you saw this week in PLC, um, where I showed you a sample of how we could kind of take a template and break down some of our iReady data. I know lots of you are already eager to go ahead and do the same sort of thing with Mclass as well, and I didn't want you killing yourself trying to come up with that template or thinking about long range planning. So I wanted to do some of that work for you. So this is a sample, and I'm going to give you a clean sample, but this one has teacher data in it. This is Miss Fallon's. So some things I want to highlight. The first is the actual groups here, Shabugi. I went to the M-Class suggested groups and kind of took it from there. So one thing I'll tell you is be prepared for your group one kids, like the lowest level, to be kind of hefty, like a large number, just because of the gap and the nature of how things have been with COVID. So like for instance, all these kids here were in one group, but I broke them up to make them more manageable for her. But I know that both of these groups will follow the next steps activity under group one in M-Class. So they're not doing anything different. It's just a broken up group and just slighter higher elevation. Whereas group three here is going to follow group two on M-Class because I had to do some tweaking there. And then this group four is going to follow group four on M-Class. Now you notice I skipped group three on M-Class because there was only one kid that was applicable to. So I threw some of his lessons into group four and thought he'll probably rise to the occasion. So I'm going to add him here. There was one kid that was an outlier as a group five, and notice I have him in group four as well because I was thinking she could probably do some work for him that's less on learning to read on and more on reading to learn. So some more accelerated work in addition to the work you would be doing with this group. So in terms of thinking about MTSS and the documentation for that, so we know that the progress monitoring you're going to do with M-Class will naturally connect to MTSS. So I was thinking here of the tier three kids, the kids that'll be in red in M-Class, in red, Shiboki. I know that you're going to need to see them daily. So like if you look here, I have tier three Monday, tier three Tuesday, tier three Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And that's true every week. Whereas your tier two group, your yellow group, yellow, probably not very easy to see. I have to change it. You're probably going to want to see them three times. So I have them tier two, group three, on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And then I knew anything else from there was fair game. So I took group four and I threw them on Wednesdays. And when I wasn't progress monitoring, like I am on this week, then I could do them on Wednesday and Friday, like you see here. In talking about progress monitoring, I also wanted to show you that just like we talked about when we were training, we know the kids in red, your tier three, need to be progress monitored every 2 weeks. So I naturally built that in here for you. So week two, progress monitoring. Another 2 weeks, progress monitoring. Another 2 weeks, progress monitor. Another 2 weeks, progress monitor. And we know the kids in yellow, the tier two, are going to be every 4 weeks. So here we go. Week one, two, three, four, progress monitoring, red and yellow. So there's that. If you take a look at the actual day, so like for instance, um, in this one, I have tier three group one and tier three group two doing the same lesson because remember, there's no difference. I just broke that group up because it was so big. So this is their lesson of the day, or what M-Class said was next steps. It was lucky dip, lucky dip. And then this tier two group is following group two on M-Class. Their next step lesson was the introduction lesson. So I literally just plugged that in and kind of went in order and used some common sense on what I wanted to plug in and what lessons kind of seemed like, okay, I don't have time for that. We need to move on. So this is just how I was thinking about it. And at the bottom here, when your kids are not with you in a small group, what can everybody